Welcome back to another video. Still don't know what to call you guys, I keep alternating. But I was just looking through, my posts and everything like that, and I realized that there's one OC of mine that has never gotten a video of his own, and it just happens to be one of my favorites. It's my male OC, Kai, from the story I'm making called Comfort Zone. I've never actually done a proper video on him. I don't know why, it's just somehow slipped my mind, which is a crime in my eyes. That's a crime. But, I'm rectifying that today. We will be talking about my OC Kai, and I'll also go into some things that can help you get more attached to your OCs like I did. Kai was a special case with me because I've never really been attracted to male OCs except for in the recent times. I've just in the recent years, not times, I'm not that old. In the recent years, I have started, per se, getting invested in male characters. I mean, when I was a kid, I would legitimately refuse to color men and the princes in my princess coloring books because I wanted the princesses to be colored because they were pretty, and I just didn't like the guys. I thought they were ugly. There was signs. Let me tell you, there was signs as a kid. But anyway, I'm gonna start with the summary that I have for Kai here from my book. So in his story, it contains abuse, child neglect, sexism, bullying, homophobia, and ableism, as Kai is an autistic character. I'm trying to portray that the best I can as someone who may have autism. I don't know if I do. So I don't want to say that I do and I know the whole experience, but I am neurodivergent. I have ADD. I was diagnosed when I was younger, which is now, I guess, classified as ADHD. So when making Kai, I have put in some of my sensory issues I struggle with, into Kai. So, that's just what I'm going off of. When Kai was young, he was diagnosed with autism. He's in the mid-range of the spectrum. The only thing I could find that describes the quote-unquote levels of autism is level 1, level 2, level 3, yada yada. I'm putting him on that spectrum of being mid-autistic, high functioning more so than not, but still having a lot of struggles with it. Okay, moving on. With those few words, his loving family fell apart. His mother started to disappear from time to time, and his father started cheating. And years after, when Kai was 15, his little sister was born. But that's when the fighting started. His mom found out about the cheating every fight sends Kai into a panic attack. Or he would just stop talking for hours after no one was his safe place in that home. He had no place that felt like home. Except for one, his baby sister. He adores her. Over the 3 years she existed, he learned she was a very bold and strong-willed girl. Papa was her first word, but she said it to a then 16-year-old Kai when he was in shutdown mode. He could only stare at her in awe and hug her a little tighter. Of course, a year later he told her that he was big brother and not dad, but still. He is 19 in my story. I changed it from 18 to 19. I've aged him up a year. I'm 19 currently. I'm 20 now. God, I just turned 20. This is so weird to say. I was the same age as Kai and now I'm not. Oh my god. But Kai is 19 and Kai is now 19. The fighting is horrible and he didn't have friends in school. But he was let into the top college, 6 hours away. Luckily, if he needed, he would be able to take his sister from this horrible home. and maybe then they could find peace. So his story is called Comfort Zone. His story is all about finding found family. I wanted it to focus more on social themes, slightly in the romance genre. It's about culture and identity and, coming of age. I have 2 published parts on the story that you guys can go check out on my Wattpad. Again, it's just called Comfort Zone. So you should be able to find it pretty easy. I haven't written on it in a while. I need to continue to do so. But I do love Kai's character. I've kind of started building up their story a little bit. Fun fact, Kai was originally a story that I was going to make for a gacha series, but I stopped because I got bored and I too much work in between writing the actual story and then having to make it in gacha was just not, it wasn't it for me, honestly. I couldn't keep up with it. So a couple things with Kai that I can go into real quick. He is very much one of my favorite characters. I love him so much. He's my favorite. It's mainly because I put my own neurodivergent struggles into him a little bit. He is very socially awkward. I tend to have trouble talking to people, especially IRL. I'm very soft-spoken and just it can be hard to understand me at times. So that's how I relate to my characters. I put something that I can relate to in them, and eventually I just start getting attached to them the more I draw them. Now, Kai's story is about comfort and having to find that comfort. Also found family. He never had a normal childhood. Even well before he was diagnosed. It was just something in that house was a little off in his house. Things he likes is strawberries, and specifically, a big thing in their story is strawberry pancakes with whipped cream. Don't ask me why I chose this for his character. He just likes strawberry pancakes with whipped cream. Have I had it personally? No. But does it look good? So much so. Kai is in college for culinary. He loves cooking. He also really likes green tea. That's just like another random thing about Kai. Kai has a habit of fidgeting when he's really nervous by pulling at the bottom of his shirt or just messing around with his fingers. I do the same exact thing. I'm not gonna lie. And like some little character tropes you can fit Kai into with his partner or future partner in the story, which is Rome Pinewood, is Kai is afraid of love, whereas Rome was born into a loving family with like a silver spoon in his mouth per se. So he is very dedicated to love and care because he was raised in a completely different environment from Kai. So I think it's an interesting dynamic to play on. In the dynamic, Rome is more talkative than Kai is. Rome is also unapologetically social, and Kai is painfully shy. He takes a good while to warm up. When I have like a sketch that I never finished, but it's just an idea I had for his character, where Kai, when he's like 13 or 14, when his sister is born and he holds her for the first time, he's very nervous and scared because he wants to be a good big brother. But he is very worried about if he can or not. And I just love his relationship with Mai. I also love writing his relationship with his friends and everything like that. I've come to really love 2 of the side characters of the story, which I need to make a video on them separately, which is Angel Morgan, who is my non-binary OC, and then another trans OC of mine, which is Miles Sage. I forgot his last name for a second. All these characters have last names. All these characters are on my Artfight page if you want to check them out and get, like, more lore. Go ahead, you get to see more of Angel and Miles on there as well. So it's very interesting. I love these characters, and I think a big reason why I like Kai so much is I can write about my own experiences as somebody neurodivergent. I can throw in little quirks and stuff that I personally have that I notice I do a lot, into him. I can, do more research and use it as an excuse. I love me some videos on people talking about stuff like that. I love people explaining, like, their stories and stuff like that. I just think it's very interesting. Another thing is Kai is MLM. He is men love men. He is 5'10". He hates bright colors as they hurt his eyes. He's just has sensitive eyes. I have the same issue with light. He's in culinary, like I said, he's in college as a culinary major. He raises his little sister throughout the story. He is working with a lawyer to get full custody of his little sister. He is shy and a pushover, as his parents raised him to be after finding out about his autism, and he's learning to open up slowly. Kai's story, as I wanted it to be a big focus on him finding himself and learning how to exist after being very shut in and very, like, unable to know what to do about certain things and certain habits of him. Something that I haven't been able to draw is Kai gets very overwhelmed in social situations when they're really loud. So he often wears headphones when he goes out, just to kind of play a little bit of music in his ears so he can have something that distracts his mind. Another thing that I don't think a lot of people notice on him is on his right hand, on his pointer finger, he has 2 little moles. This is something I started doing with all of my characters, where every one of my characters will have 2 moles close together on their body. Kai's is, like I said, on his pointer finger, I believe. On his right hand, he has 2 little moles. Leona has 2 little moles on her, like, right by her neck. Nanashi has 2 little moles on her shoulder that looks like a semicolon. Bun Bun has 2 little moles on her inner thigh, etc., etc. This is something I started doing because I wanted to add moles to my characters. I think they're fun. And I have 2 moles on my shoulder. And I have 2 moles on my arm. I just like the idea of my characters having something that kind of relates them back to me. I think that's very fun. A tip that I can give, and this is probably the best thing you can do when you're making OC, don't be afraid to put qualities of yourself into your characters, even if you think this is a negative quality about yourself. Go ahead and put it in your character. Write about it. It gives you an excuse to write about things that you deal with and work it out. Maybe even, like, do more research on why this happens. It just gives you an excuse to kind of vent a little bit into your characters, and it can also make you very close to those characters. It makes you feel more attached to them because you can look at them and relate to them in a certain way, and relatability with your characters is what really is going to keep you wanting to go back to that character. With Nanashi, the reason why I go back to her so much is I put my grief into Nanashi. Nanashi is the character I go to and I write about grief. I write about stuff like that because in her story she deals with a lot of grief, and through her I have started to learn how to grieve myself and how to get over losses that have affected me for years, which is so cool to see when a character just deals with that. And there's always something with my characters that I can latch on to them and I can be like, oh yeah, that's me for real. I can't remember. I know I gave my Black OC Leona something that I can relate to her with, but for the love of me, I cannot remember what. I know I struggled really bad with it because I'm like, well, Leona's POC character. There's not gonna be much I can relate to, I can put into her that I could relate to, because POC people have very different experiences than a white person like myself. And I'm not saying that to say, like, it's a bad thing. I'm saying that mainly to point out that POC people go through a lot of hardship, and especially regarding in the racism department, and stuff like that. So it was very hard when I was making Leona to find something that I could put into her that I'd be able to relate to her with. But I did end up finding something, and I just cannot remember right now. What was it? Because I know I found something. That's what it is. It's her longing for peace. She likes to isolate herself. I do the same exact thing. I have the same exact. Is it a problem? A little bit. But Leona just likes being alone. She likes being in her own little bubble. But Leona is also a mom. So she's like, in a sense, when her kid was younger, she never got time to herself. Which was annoying to her some days, but she's like a character that she's like, was it annoying at the time? Yes. Would I take it back? Hell no. Cause she adores her kid. I just love Leona. She's, again, one of my favorites. They're all my babies. I love them so much. I'm getting off topic because this is supposed to be about Kai. But just find something that you can put into your characters that you can relate to them. Even if they're different, how do you say? Even if they're different races from you, you can always find something, in your personality, or something, or like little quirks or something like that you do that you could put into your character that will genuinely help you kind of cling on to those characters. The characters I don't latch on to as much usually tend to be characters that I put nothing of myself into. Like, who would be an example of it? I'd say Levi and Jade and Takashi. Levi and Jade is Leona's partners. I don't think I've had enough time drawing them and just exploring their characters enough to really care about them. I'm somebody that cares about the story behind the character and the background because that's what gets me attached to my characters. But if you're somebody who doesn't really care about the lore of the characters, go with the other thing I did. I put moles on my characters that are similar to my own moles. You can do that. You can put like little aspects of your looks into your characters. No one's gonna judge you for it, and if they do, we'll tell those people to fuck off. Because I want to see it. I want to see those characters. I'm sure they would turn out amazing. Like I said, I struggled a lot, and I talked about it in Leona's video. I struggled a lot with her design, and sometimes that happens when you're making OCs, especially when you're making an OC that is very different from yourself. you're gonna struggle, especially on the design aspects of it. When I was originally making Leona, I had like a rough idea, and that was I wanted to write an isekai story, and I wanted to have a POC character because I realized that my cast that I have for all my other characters that I draw, a lot, are all very, very pale, with Kai and Angel being the exceptions to that. Also Takashi. Takashi isn't as pale, but I do have a couple darker skinned characters, but they all are like paper bag colored, and I wanted the character darker, just because I do enjoy drawing POC characters. Even though Nanashi isn't white, she is Asian, um, I still wanted a character that was BPOC. So in designing Leona, it took a lot of time and a lot of different renditions of her design and just going through a shit ton of work, but it did pay off. Kai came together pretty naturally. Another big tip for specifically in character design, if you are having problems actually getting your ideas down to paper, go into a character creator app. Load up Gotcha Club. Go to Pit Crew and find a character creator where you can just spend a little time just putting things together, so you don't have to really do the mental effort of drawing the character and getting frustrated with it. You can just go mess around on a Pit Crew or Gotcha Club and have fun with it and just make something. That's how I made Leona. I made her with a Pit Crew because I was struggling so much with her design. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try and load it in. I'm gonna try and go to a Pit Crew and load my ideas into that. Like, add that onto the bases that I'm given. And I fell in love with her design. I did the same thing, but with Gotcha Club to Rome, uh, Angel, and Miles all were designed in Gotcha, as well as another character that I have not drawn yet, which is Maddie O'Brien, which is another POC character. I still need to flesh out her design more because she is bothersome to draw. I'm just gonna say it. Bothersome to draw. I don't know what it is about how I designed her, but it's cumbersome, I guess, is how you can say it. So I'm trying to figure out her design before I officially add her into the cast. But Kai's friend group is meant to be very diverse, because I feel like him specifically, he would go for more of the people that are seen as quote unquote outcasts in the college because they are in a very conservative state in my mind. So it is a little bit of problem central for them, especially when finding friends. It can be a massive struggle. That's another thing I put into Kai that I'm just now noticing. It's my struggling to find friends. So he struggles for a little bit, but he kind of clicks with these people almost immediately. I have not yet written anything for Miles and Angel. I just know that they are a couple and they were childhood friends. That's like all I have written down for them. I also know that Miles is a hothead because I wanted him to be a hothead. He's very tall and a bodybuilder. I love Miles. See, and you can add side characters before you add your main character because side characters can give you an idea for your main character. It can help you. But I did design Kai first. I designed Kai and then I designed Rome and then I'm like, I want him to have more friends on that. Then I designed Maddie, who I've like only drawn once, and then I designed Angel and Angel and Miles, sorry. I designed Miles, and I adore Miles. One of my other favorite characters that I don't draw nearly enough. Like, Miles and Angel's outfits are so intricate intricate, int whatever, you know what I mean. They're so detailed, and that's because I designed them in Gotcha Club. So, I'm pretty sure if you take a look at their outfits, you can tell that it's from Gotcha Club. But I adore them. I love their outfits. It's honestly my favorite part of their designs. I hope I did a good enough job with Angel because I wanted them to be very, like, you can't tell, like, they don't lean one way or another, uh, which is good because I've gotten comments of people, misgendering, uh, Angel, saying that they're female. They're not. Um, and then I gotten one saying that they were male, and they're not. So, they're non-binary. So I think that says it in itself that I did a good enough job where they can pass as both. So I think that's very in John. I can't with words today, y'all. What's the word for in the middle? Because that was like my goal for Angel. I didn't want them to look one way or the other. So I'm very glad that they turned out in a place where they confuse people. That's the ultimate goal. Give people confusion. Um, but I think their design turned out really well. I wanted to give them longer hair, but like in a weird hairstyle because I just wanted to draw a weird hairstyle and I love their hairstyle. Their hair's so weird, but I love it so much. Angel is also half blind. I meant for this video to be purely about Kai. And it turned about into Kai plus friends plus all my other characters. Y'all, Kai needs his own spotlight. Kai's last name is Orchard, by the way. So it's Kai Orchard and My Orchard. And I know you guys are gonna say, well, isn't that your creepypasta OC? If you're an old watcher of mine. Yes. But his little sister is also named Mai. I am very uncreative with names, and I just like the name Mai, so her name is also Mai. I adore her. She's a bold little girl. Another thing I always forget about Kai is he has interests. He has other special interests. Makeup being one of them. He does like wearing makeup. Um, he is actually really fucking good at it, like better than me. Just because he dabbles and he has to do a little bit of makeup for his job as a uh, male bunny suit maid. So if you know those like female bunny suits, yeah, I put I in that. That's his work uniform. I love it so much. I love seeing my man in a bunny suit and bunny ears. I think it's fun. Angel also works with him. So the thing with his job is it's a bunny cafe, and they found out that putting all their workers, no matter gender, into bunny suits raised profits. Like a lot because more people started coming there, especially more women started coming there to see the guys in the bunny suits. So that's how it came to be of everybody else wearing bunny suits. Because before that, oh, big yawn. I say what I say, my god, big yawn. But before that, the guys would wear like actual suits with just bunny ears and a tail, kind of like if you've seen Obey Me, it's kind of like that. How I imagine like the old outfits, but Kai didn't start working there until after this change. Is it because I saw a reference with a guy wearing a bunny suit on Pinterest and I'm like, what if I put Kai in that? Maybe. Maybe. Kai does have another job. He has quite a bit of part-time jobs. He does have to work for his college funds and also on top of that taking care of his sister. So very hard for him, and he is in a legal process with the courts in trying to prove that he can take care of his sister. So he has to have a lot of jobs. So he works as a bunny maid, he works as a part-time model, and he goes to school and does culinary school where he has to intern at a actual prestigious prestigious restaurant, and he ends up having to intern for them. So he does a lot. He's like very all over the place. He's all over the place. He's very, very all over the place. I also think it would be interesting, if Kai also dabbled a little bit with art, but not like a whole lot. Like he just doodles. He does basic little doodles, like not even like anything professional. He just likes doodling when he has time. He also finds Rome very annoying, even though he loves his boyfriend, after they are friends for a long time. And he gets used to Rome's antics. He loves his boyfriend. He loves Rome. He adores them. Don't get me wrong. But he also hates his fucking guts. Because Rome can be so overbearing and clingy and just this little cheese ball. And it kind of gets on Kai's nerves, at times. And I'm actually, you saw earlier me drawing a piece of Kai being very annoyed because Rome has probably called him for the 15th time that day to make sure his Kai is okay. Because, Rome is on like a trip or something, and he's just very worried because he can't go and check on Kai or go and bring Kai, some desserts or something, which I think is very, very telling. I love writing character dynamics where it's just, you can see this in, Leona's relationship with Levi, where she's very pissed off and annoyed at her husband half of the time, but her story, she kind of grows to just deal with it, and it doesn't bother her as much, as it did in the start of her story. But with Kai, he just gets so annoyed with his partner. Rome does accidentally end up overstimulating him a few times, with just how overbearing Rome can be, because Rome is very much so like his father, because he saw, I headcanon, because I have designs for all of their parents too, except for Angel and Miles' parents. I do have designs for Kai and Rome's parents. And Rome's parents is this lovely, like, very tall woman, very elegant, very gentle, and very caring, and he loves his mom. He adores his mom. And then his dad is just this little crybaby boy. His dad's like a little crybaby boy, and I say that in the best way possible. His dad is like very sweet and caring and loving and overbearing, way more than necessary. I also headcanon. I think it's not headcanon if they're my insiders, but Rome's dad was so upset with Kai leaving for college, and Rome's mom had to kind of step in and like let her son go to school. Like he needs to get out there. You can't baby him his whole life. Uh, but his parents' dynamic is very sweet, and I love it because it's just this pathetic man in the best way possible. Again, he's just like a pathetic man, with his very, very lovely, elegant, bossy, like bossy in the sense that he's like the CEO and he's the YN. I reversed the orders and I just realized that his Rome's mom's the fucking CEO and Rome's dad is the fucking YN character. Oh no. Oh. Oh, that's funny. I didn't want to write the classic, like, family dynamic for Rome, for, like, rich families where it's, like, this housewife woman and her CEO, big boss, husband. So I just flipped it because I like writing strong women, and I like writing women that would legitimately kick their husband's ass. So yeah. I think that's enough yapping, and I think I can end the video now. So I really hope you guys enjoyed me yapping about my characters from Comfort Zone. If you want to check out more videos like this, I do have a playlist on my YouTube that you guys can go ahead and check out. It is OC Rants. It has 7 videos as I am making this, so it will have 8 videos, after posting. I have talked about my first ever OCs, which is Ghost and her sisters. I have talked about Nanashi in 2 videos. I have talked about Leona in 3 videos, I believe, and I have talked about Bun Bun in a video. So, like I said, Kai is the only one that has been very much not there. In the terms of, have I talked about him in a video? No. If you need help on perspective, I have a playlist with videos I recommend you going and checking out and watching that may make perspective very easy for you. I have a truly random playlist where I have just random videos I've made in the past that don't really fit into any category. I also have a Goretober playlist with all my Goretobers drawings from last year. I have a Let's Struggle Together playlist with all of my videos where I give tips and show you other things. I have one on color theory, renderings, faces, making OCs, drawing hands, drawing men, what are the best drawing apps to start with, color theory again, um, a video on that with Let's Struggle Together on how to keep entertained with your art, or if you should keep going in your art, which yes you should. Spoiler, yes you should. I have a video on color and lighting, and I have a video on perspective, and I just made a video on how to fall in love with art again. I also have a playlist for all of the art fight content I made leading up to art fight. I have decided not to make an actual art fight video with all of my attacks in it, just because my iPad cannot handle that. But with that, this video is coming to a close. So if you like it and you want to see more content from me, please be sure to comment on the video, leave a like, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it would help me out immensely. I appreciate it. Any comments I get, I do try and reply to them. So, ask me anything. I'll try and answer if I can, as long as you're not rude. But with that, goodbye y'all. Have a good night or day, whatever time of day this video has found you. And I hope you liked it. If you watched to the end of this video, why don't you leave a peach emoji in the comments? I like peaches. Okay, bye. I don't know how to end these. Oh no.